Due to the nature of my holiday plans on the weekend, we are pre-recording some videos to go up over the course of the day. Today, it's Friday, December 19th, and this video will be uploaded tomorrow on December 20th, so I pray to goodness gracious that this lineup, what we're seeing for Vancouver against the Islanders Friday night, is not going to be the same tomorrow night. I say night. The games are at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The Canucks are in the East. They're on a road trip in the Metro. But today's video is going over a very simple idea. We're talking about a player who is not in the lineup, despite the fact that he probably should be. You can see from yesterday's game against the Islanders, the Vancouver Canucks had Marco Rossi, Max Sasson, David Kampf, and Drew O'Connor as the 1, 2, 3, 4 down the middle. The Canucks are missing out on a very, very particular name. What the hell's going on with Aatu Ratu? Now, we can go over the entire song and dance, we can do the scouting report, we can talk about how this guy was supposed to be the first overall pick back in 2021, and then he had a bad draft-eligible campaign, which is why he dropped all the way to 52nd. We can talk about the skills that made him a first overall caliber talent, and we can talk about just where he was supposed to go. Was he going to be a Jack Hughes? Was he going to be a Nolan Patrick, a Nico Hischier, something along that mold? But we've already done those videos, man. We've been making videos about Aatu Ratu for years, ever since before the guy was drafted. And heck, even in his Vancouver Canucks little stint here, the guy has started to produce a lot more over the past few games he has played. But that's the thing. The last game that Aatu Ratu has played was a week ago, and the Canucks had gotten a few wins since they scratched him. Now, you can say that Aatu Ratu's last game was also Quinn Hughes' last game, so maybe there's a little bit of a different flavor with the Vancouver Canucks now compared to last week, but that doesn't discredit the fact that in his past however many games, Aatu Ratu's at 5 points. He had a 3-point dagger against the Minnesota Wild last week, and that was a really good game. Last week, 2 weeks ago, 2 goals, 1 assist. He could have had a third one. There was a lot to like out of Aatu Ratu in this little showcase here. He's starting to put it together, and unfortunately, he hasn't been given the opportunity to string together even more positive results. Trevor Beggs went out there and said this: "It still boggles my mind how Aatu Ratu isn't in the lineup right now. He's the Vancouver Canucks' best face-off man. His defensive play has been more than acceptable, and he leads the team in 5-on-5 points this season. If the Canucks are truly in a rebuild, why is he in the press box?" And you can see that Aatu Ratu, with total points, 5v5, he's got 11 points, 3 goals, 8 assists. He is one of the most productive Vancouver Canucks at even strength, even more so than Quinn Hughes. And, I mean, now we're starting to talk more about what this actually means. Is it Drew O'Connor's time to shine? Aatu Ratu just doesn't have the favor of the head coach over here. Ratu was 4C when he's on a heater, and Drew O'Connor is a second-line center. I mean, you can talk all you want about the bling-bling Thanos-like Adam Foote image over here, but I do think that it begs repeating that, yeah, some of these guys that are in the lineup, not Marco Rossi, he's fine. Max Sasson you can make the argument for, but David Kampf is probably not going to come back at all heading into the next few years. Drew O'Connor, part of a big mistake of a trade that the Vancouver Canucks ended up making. Why is Aatu Ratu being put in the press box over these guys? Why? The Canucks are in a rebuild, right? They're trying to bolster up the young talent. They want to get these younger guys better and ready to go for the long haul. Ratu is 23 years old. Why is he being scratched for guys like Kampf and O'Connor when he is clearly more effective players than they are? To help us out, let's go over onto the R Canucks subreddit and read a post made by Affectionate Art 187. What they did was they translated a Finnish article and posted the contents here on the Reddit. It's quite interesting, so we're going to go out there and read it over here. I'll leave a link in the description to the Canucks post as well. Take a look at what this article says. Aatu Ratu is fighting for his place in the NHL. The Vancouver Canucks center made it to the ice last on December 11th and has since picked up a boost in the press box. Ratu has 28 points in 32 games for the Canucks. He hasn't played in the AHL last season. Okay, no, that's not right. He doesn't have 28 points. 3 goals and 8 assists is not 28. Yeah, no. Take a look at the actual number here. Aatu Ratu has 11 points in 28 games. That's a lot more modest, I would say. He said here, "I try to show the best in every game. When the opportunity comes, it has to be used," Ratu said Tuesday. "There's more training time, and it's useful for a young player. I'm trying to get stronger and faster." The Canucks traded Quinn Hughes to Minnesota. There were 3 players in the exchange, one of which is a center who immediately took the first center spot in Marco Rossi. When Pettersson and Hedel are still out in the middle, Ratu's position, at least in an ideal situation, becomes crowded. When you're out of the lineup, you have time to collect the spiciness, and you can then show it when the position opens up. Being on the sidelines sucks, but all other teams have extra players, Ratu notes. When watching the games, the Finn sees the good side of the ice. The game looks different when you follow it from the stands. It's good to see what the other players are doing and follow that. The other thing is to stay positive. You have to feel like you're part of the team so you don't have unnecessary distance from it, Ratu reasoned. On December 6, Ratu stunned the first star with a 2-goal and 1-assist game where the Vancouver Canucks defeated Minnesota. Just a few days later, however, the Canucks head coach Adam Foote decided to put Ratu on a rest shift. He might be back in the lineup, and it's also possible that he won't come back. It's a good idea for a young player to have a mental break from time to time, Foote comments. And this comment is a little bit freaky, in my opinion. Oh, he might be back, but it's also possible that he won't come back. Like, oh, he's gonna get traded, or we're just gonna leave him in the press box forever. I will say, though, this top comment kind of sums up what I'm feeling about this article. Ratu has a good mindset. I know we all joke about Foote benching him for tanking reasons, but please don't let it be a consistent thing. The Vancouver Canucks lineup is already pretty depleted. Just let the kid play. Yeah, the kid's attitude has been solid through all of this. We just really hope that Adam Foote doesn't keep him glued to the press box much longer, especially with how thin the Canucks are. And a lot of these comments from Aatu Ratu just talking about the importance of viewing the game from a third-person perspective, up high, being able to watch what's going well and what's not going well. There's a lot of maturity in the way that Ratu is responding to this situation, even though a lot of Canucks fans would straight up say, yeah, it's mind-boggling that he's not in the lineup right now. And again, I'm recording this video before the New York Islander game on Friday, so by the time Saturday rolls around and Vancouver is playing off against Nikita Zadorov and the Boston Bruins, then maybe there is a chance for Ratu to re-enter the lineup, and maybe this video is all for naught. But right now, at least, Aatu Ratu has missed out on the Jersey game, he missed out on the Rangers game, now he's going to miss out on the Islanders game. This isn't really the best way to develop your young budding centers. At least, that's what I think. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Adam Foote going out there and using Drew O'Connor and David Kampf in better positions than Aatu Ratu? Let me know in the comment section below. How do you feel about all of this? I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.